Good to go, yeah? I'm missing you. Hi folks, welcome back. T-Mac Fitness Workshop for another video. It's actually going to be a workout video today again, and what we want to do today is we're just going to change things up a little bit, because up until Christmas we had been working towards our 1 rep max, and we were doing 5 by 5. Then after Christmas there we've done a few weeks now of 4 by 8 sets and exercises. So what we're going to move on to now is just three sets of 10. We've changed a little bit. We're going to do 6 exercises, and we're going to do each of them 3 by 10, so three sets of 10 reps. And not much really reason for that. It's just a change up, because you can't really go long term on exactly the same program doing the same exercise the whole time. So I just thought, now coming it being the start of March, that we'll just almost start of March in a couple of days, and we're just going to change up kind of our workout and maybe go back in circuit format, because we kind of had left that when we were doing 5 by 5s, because 5 by 5s, because you're lifting very close maybe to your 1 rep max. It's quite intense, so you need a nice little break in between. And then by 4 by 8s, we're just teaming them up with 2 exercises, so we're doing 2 exercises back to back and then moving on. We did do maybe the trisets for a while, which was 3 exercises in a block. But now we're coming back, and I just felt maybe just for a few weeks might go back and do maybe more in a circuit format and bring it back down 3 by 10. Also, just another quick note, we might do a full video maybe on this as well. One client brought it to my attention about just kind of being sick, and came back after a couple of weeks of missing sessions and hadn't been doing anything, and was wondering what way would we approach that. And so it was a very good question, and I suppose the main thing is you want to watch for is if you have missed a few weeks, especially if you're sick. Now if you're away on holidays, it's a little bit different, but especially if you've been sick and you come back in, do not try and jump back in where you left off before you were sick. That just won't work. So scale back your workouts, scale back the weight, even the reps and sets, intensity, and just work your way back to it. It will be annoying, of course, because you are going kind of a little bit backwards, but you're going back for a good reason, to make sure you go forward and get back to where you are sooner. Because the worst thing you want to do is kind of relapse, and especially when you've been sick. When you work out hard and intense, your body can't recover from an illness or a sickness, as well as recovering from a workout and stuff. So you're probably going to be sore for longer, pains and aches and things like that from a workout if you aren't back to 100%. So the best thing to do is just ease yourself back into it and then build yourself back up. Yeah, it might take a couple of weeks to get back to where you are, but you'll get back there probably a little bit better and a little bit quicker than you would if you just jumped back in. So I just thought I'd mention that, because it was a question that was raised during the week, especially this time of year with kind of sickness and stuff like that. And as I said, when you're away on holidays, you can scale it back. You won't have to scale it back as much. Obviously depends on how long you're on holidays for, whether it was a week or 2. But 1 week generally won't make too much difference, but it's always nice. So say if you're squatting around 80, maybe just bring it back to 70, maybe just when you come back off holidays, and work your way back up to it. It'll be better for you in the long run. So today's exercise then, we're going to start off with some overhead pin presses. So that's from a dead stop. We've done them in videos before as well. Onto standard squats, because I do like squatting. It's one of the major compound lifts that I always like to keep in. We'll move then onto some back rows, into straight leg deadlifts, and some lat pull downs then as well. And that should be it. So yeah, we'll get to it. And that's it, folks. That's tonight's session over and done with. 3 sets of 10. I eventually actually got in 6 exercises. The 6th one was just what you might call maybe cable flies, chest flies. It's just that I don't have an adjustable cable machine, so just do it on the resistant bands. But it's really good to get used to maybe cables or the bands, because your chest works really well into adduction, bring the arms across the midline of the body, and it's always good to train that, because usually when you do maybe the barbell press or dumbbells, a little bit comes in, but if you're restricting the bar, you obviously can't move your hands across your body, so it's always good maybe to work on that. The pin press then, just from pressing from a dead stop, so it's really good, and you can set the spotters at different levels depending on where you want to go to. You can set them up a little bit high, work the top range, set them a little bit lower, you're working a little bit more in the lower range and all the way up. Then squats, we've done videos on squats before. Just make sure like you're getting good depth, they're good and solid, nice and steady, you have a nice rack position as well, and the bar is nicely across, say the rack that you'll form with your shoulders rather than on the back of your neck. On the back row then, just make sure you're, once again, it's all about good positioning, a nice hip hinge down, a nice flat back, get the elbows back as far as you can, squeeze the shoulder blades in. And make sure you don't go too heavy, that you're like pulling up and down, or that you're standing up maybe a little bit straight where you end up lifting the bar up instead of rolling it back. Straight leg deadlifts as well, we've done a video on that as well. Just make sure that you keep the back nice and straight and it's all hip hinging forward, because if you let the shoulder slack in, it does take a little bit of tension off the hamstrings. But it is a really good exercise, and as I said before, one of the best ones you can do for your hamstrings. Onto then the lat pull down on the cable machine that we have. Nice tip, just to lean back a little bit, make sure you're pulling it down towards you and not just pulling it straight down, keeping the wrist nice and straight, because if you pull too far down, you'll end up flexing the wrist in. So just a little lean back, make sure you're pulling it back down, probably to where you'd hit the bar off your chest, or to aim to lower the bar down to your chest, on a bench press, so it's the same kind of area. And then we just finish with them resistant band flies across. So yeah, so that's the workout done for today. As I said, we're switching up, doing 3 10s at the moment, and we do that maybe for another few weeks, and we might change up then again, and we'll see kind of what we get done in the gym after that. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. If you have any questions then, don't hesitate to contact me, drop me a message, and we'll get an answer back to you. Until the next time, enjoy your training. Add some of them exercises in, maybe try some 3 by 10 sessions, and we'll see you next Friday.